Meet Isha. Isha wants to move abroad, but she's stuck at band 6.5 in IELTS writing task 1. And today, we're going to fix that for her. So step by step, I'm going to show her how to transform her formal letter from a band 6.5 into a letter that could get band 8 and maybe even 9. And by the end of this video, you'll know the exact structure our band 9 students use, the exact words to use to make your letter sound formal, and the single rule that tells you in just 2 seconds whether a letter is formal or informal. So you never have to waste time worrying about that on test day. So, first thing that we need to do is help you understand the format of writing task 1 general training, because it never changes. And we're going to use this format to help us plan and structure our answer before we start writing. So it's really, really important that we do that. So it always says you should spend about 20 minutes on this task. I would recommend that you do the writing task 2 first, and then writing task 1 last. Writing task 1 only takes 20 minutes, but students often spend too much time on it, and that means they have less time to do task 2. So when you're practicing, try to get task 2 done in 40 minutes and then move on to task 1. What it does is it always gives you the kind of context of the background first. Then it will tell you to write a letter and who to write the letter to, which we'll come back to that in a second. It's important. And then it will give you 3 bullet points and it will tell you how to start your letter. Okay? So before we get on to planning and the structure, what we first need to decide is this a formal letter or an informal letter? So there's only 2 types of letter on IELTS writing task 1. There's no semi-formal. If you want to decide if it is formal or informal, look at the bit where it asks or tells you who to write to. So for this one, it's write a letter to the moving company. The rule is, if it says write a letter to a friend, if it says the word friend, it is informal. Anybody else, it is formal. All right. Now, you people at home, don't start saying, well, what if I know a person at the moving company, or what if my brother works? Forget all of that. Friend, informal. Not friend, formal. Just keep it simple. So, is this formal or informal?
Formal, because it is to the moving company.
Okay, do you know anybody at the moving company? No. So are they your friends?
No.
No, so formal. Now we know it's a formal letter. We'll go into what makes a letter formal. I'll show you what language to use later on when we start writing. But next I want to show you how to plan and structure your answer.
Okay.
So start off here, dear sir or madam. Just always do exactly what they tell you. They'll always tell you to do that. Then paragraph 1 is reason why you're writing letter. So you just say, I'm writing to you because of this reason. Okay. Then we're going to take bullet point number 1, which is going to be paragraph 2. Bullet point number 2. Paragraph 4 is going to be bullet point number 3. So this forces you to do exactly what they're asking you to do. All right, so it takes all the guesswork out of it. We want to reduce thinking as much as possible. Just want to make everything as automatic as possible. And then we want to end it with sign off. I always do kind regards, because kind regards is appropriate for both informal and formal. So kind regards is fine. And then your name. So this is the structure. You have to write at least 150 words. Okay. So what we tend to do is tell our students to write around 50 for this one, this one, this one. You probably won't have time to count your words. So what we'll do is we'll count this paragraph, make sure that it's over 50, and then we'll be able to ballpark the rest of them, because the others, as long as it's 50 words, 50, 50, and then this one is just 1 sentence or 2 sentences telling them the reason why. Any questions about that?
Can I just name the moving firm if I want to rephrase?
You can
just
make
any name?
anything up. What I would like you to do next is, for these bullet points, to add some detail, to plan them out. Start off with just one clear idea that definitely answers this, and then add a little bit more detail to get you up. 50 words is going to be 3 to 4 sentences, something like that. It differs from person to person, but generally around that. So look at the whole thing, and then for each bullet point, just add a couple of points that you could expand on when you're writing. So take a few minutes to do that. Handling and packaging.
Yeah.
Do you think you'll be able to write 3 or 4 sentences about that?
I think so, yeah. I
Yeah?
would say, yeah, like,
I mean, this is not set in stone. So when you start writing, if you get to like 2 sentences, you're like, oh, this is around 25 words. I need to add, you can add a few other
Yeah.
things. But just pick things that you feel confident writing about.
Right.
All right. So yeah, it's good.
Okay. So I think I can start off by talking about the whole team and then go like, but this specific member was
Yeah.
exceptionally helpful.
Good. And don't worry about specific names or
Yeah.
like just pick literally anything.
So I could make something up over here, like during the transportation, the car had some problems and the replacement took too long or something like that.
Literally, the content doesn't matter as long as it is relevant to the bullet point. So relevancy is very, very important, but there are a million things that could be relevant there. So pick the thing that is easy for you to write about.
Yeah.
So that could be something that has actually happened to you before.
Yeah.
Or it could be something that, you know, a friend or a family member told you about. Or it could just be something like we have a lot of doctors and nurses. So they often will add medical stuff in, for if they can, because they can use very advanced vocabulary that they know is correct. Not everybody can do that,
Interesting.
but yeah.
Wow, okay.
Okay.
So car ran into troubles with the tire and replacement took too long to arrive. That's the dissatisfied part.
Good. So this is a formal letter. So we need to think about what is formal language. The thing I find most useful is to tell students what not to put in. So what is informal language that we do not want to put in? So for example, slang. We wouldn't put that in. One that probably need to become aware of is contractions. So for example, I'm instead of I am. So I'm would be informal. I am would be formal.
Right.
Things like phrasal verbs, idioms,
Yeah, idioms are a big one.
abbreviations. So things like LOL, ASAP, things like that. You wouldn't have any emojis.
Or Gen Z language.
No hearts or anything like that, or kisses or anything like that. You know, you want to keep it very, very formal. But what I think you should do is use this to write your letter. Just write it here and take it paragraph by paragraph.
Okay.
And then I'll give you feedback after every paragraph. Always have the question with you.
Okay.
Always be focused on the question. So, dear sir or madam, so you started it off correctly. I'm writing this letter because I recently hired Advantage Moving Services to move my belongings to my new house.
And then I go with, I am mainly writing this to express.
Okay, so big thing is you need to skip a paragraph.
Okay.
So paragraphing is important and it's just easy marks that you're throwing away. So that is why we have the structure. And we follow that. See, one sentence, let's just focus on this. I'm writing this letter because, all right, that's a good way to start it. Very formal way to start it. I recently hired Advantage Moving Services to move my belongings to my new house. I would say something about requesting because they requested a, did you cover that here or?
I was thinking that I would cover that in conclusion maybe at the end.
So there's no conclusion because it's not an essay.
Okay,
So
makes sense.
it's a letter.
Sure.
So you could put PS at the end or whatever, but you're making it more complicated than it needs to be. So that is why we have this. So I would just add in here something. I'm writing this letter because I recently hired Advantage Moving Services to move my belongings to my house.
And they and I was requested a review.
And I would like to leave a review as requested.
Okay.
Something like that. All right. So I am mainly writing this to express my gratitude, describe what went smoothly, good, and my satisfaction, good, with the company's
Exceptional service.
So companies would be
YS, right?
Y apostrophe S. All right. So companies is many, is plural.
Oh,
many
right.
companies.
Sure.
With the company's exceptional service, especially, is that a capital letter or is that just your handwriting?
No, it's capital.
Capital letter. So we wouldn't have a capital letter after a comma, especially, is that a capital letter?
Yeah.
Handling of my belongings.
I feel like I can definitely change that. because I repeated it twice.
So you have an extremely long sentence there, and there could be a problem with punctuation if you keep doing that throughout the whole essay. So why don't we? I would use move that, put a full stop here, delete this, capitalize this. The handling of my belongings was done very well. Everything was handled with complete care and precaution.
Unpackaged extremely.
So you got unpackaged extremely well. Okay, so you see we're having a few issues with punctuation. Don't worry too much about this, but if you can, it is better to write shorter, simpler sentences that are correct than very, very long, complex run-on sentences that could have multiple punctuation issues. So in the next paragraph, let's just try and, you don't have to write like super short sentences, but try and have it is maybe 1 or 2 ideas per sentence. Let's see, how many words is this?
38.
38. So how many do we need?
50.
Yeah, so how many? Oh, probably 1 more sentence. So could we add a little bit more detail?
Sure.
Remember, we're describing something that went smoothly. So overall, that took a lot of stress away from me, and it's something I appreciate. Good. Is this a full stop or a comma?
Full stop.
Okay, make it look like a full stop. Because it's a straight line. It looks like a straight line.
Wait, can I see?
Yeah, so we're going to delete that.
Okay.
And then overall, comma. That took a lot of stress away from me, comma. And it's something I appreciate. Okay, good. So we're seeing that the reason why you might have got 6.5 in your previous attempts is not because you don't know how to write properly. It is just small mistakes, like punctuation, for example. And a lot of the time you are actually adding in the correct punctuation, but it's not clear. Because if you had one big, massive paragraph, again, you're throwing away those marks where it's just easy to show the examiner, here are my paragraphs, by following this structure. So we're getting there. We're improving bit by bit. Don't panic. You're improving. All right. So the next bullet point is going to be this one. Commend a member of staff who provided excellent service. So start over here, show the examiner, have a bit of space, pick a member of staff or overall, and then go into detail about a member of staff. So the entire team was energetic and friendly, which made a task like moving smooth and easy. Okay, again, make it really obvious that this is a full stop. So this is where someone like you who is getting a band 9 in speaking can struggle with writing. It's not because there's anything wrong with your English per se. It is just you're being a little bit careless sometimes. So your English is great, it's just carelessness. And it's difficult because you're on camera, someone is staring at you, you're right. So you're tired because we've been working all day. You know, it's easy to make these mistakes, but on test day, you'll be under the same amount of stress, if not more. You'll feel tired. You'll be doing, the listening test and the reading test and then the writing test. So it is good to make these mistakes now and be aware of them. So one person in particular provided exceptional service, named Chris. Why would you write an I like that?
Yeah, you're right. Because I wrote an I, capital I here, but then I wrote it like this here.
But when do you ever write an I on its own like that? Ever? I is always capitalized.
Yeah. I didn't hear, look.
I know.
You were so right about the silly mistakes.
I would
Definitely be recommending this company.
To my friends and family if they are ever looking for
And easy to work with, sorry.
an easy to work with team. Good. So what have we learned so far?
That
What do we need
horrible in punctuation.
You're not horrible in punctuation. You just you don't make it clear. All right.
Okay.
So think about the reader. Think about the person reading it. They need to understand when one sentence ends and the next finishes.
Okay.
So we've improved making our sentences a little bit shorter, making them clearer. Now we just need to tidy up the punctuation a little bit.
Okay. So this is the dissatisfied paragraph, right?
Yep. If there was one thing that was bothersome, good. If there was one thing that was bothersome,
Was that?
it was that.
Oh,
So,
so comma?
comma,
Yeah.
comma, it was that the car transporting all my property ran into a
Short but fixable.
fixable trouble. Would we use the word trouble? It ran into trouble.
Because it's formal, right?
Yeah, so it ran into a short but fixable problem, probably instead of trouble with the tire. Is that a full stop?
No, it's a comma.
And so you put comma and then
However.
capital.
You're right. However,
They didn't have a spare tire on hand and had to call in another truck to replace the one with that tire. So
with the flat tire.
and.
Yeah.
Okay. So if there was one thing that was bothersome, it was that the car transporting all my property ran into a short but fixable problem with the tire. Full stop. So try and think of the first sentence as like a topic sentence. You're just saying, here's the main point. So, however, they didn't have a spare tire on hand and had to call in another truck to replace the one with the flat tire. That took 3 hours, which was an inconvenience as time was
Very essential.
essential that day. So either something is essential or it's not essential. It
Okay.
wouldn't be very essential. It's either one or the other, you know.
Okay.
It's like, which was an inconvenience as time was essential that day. All right, good. So we just put kind regards, Isha. This is good because you're making the same mistakes again, and you only have really 2 mistakes: punctuation and run-on sentences. You keep going. So you're doing a lot of things right, but if you submitted this essay on test day with that number of errors in it, you wouldn't be getting one of the higher scores.
Sure.
So we need to fix those 2 errors and then we'll be able to move on and help you with that. If you'd like to see lots of samples of task 1, both formal and informal letters, I have put lots of task 1 samples into one PDF, more than 100 for you. These are all real students at a band 7, 8 or 9. They got 7, 8 or 9 in the real test. All of those are in one PDF that you can download. Just go to the description, click on the link and you can download for free. That's our gift to you. So that's how to do formal letters, but you also need to know how to write informal letters. Here's a full lesson on how to write informal letters. Click here and learn how to write those too.